Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to have a look at some double albums, 10 double albums that we all know and that we all have copies of. But not so much for the albums themselves, because you all know them and you've got them, but because of their pressings, right? I want to show you what I have, how I feel they sound like, and I want your contribution with other different pressings that you think sound great and maybe even less expensive. So let's get right into it. Before we start, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and becoming part of our family. First one, Bob Dylan, Blonde on Blonde. I think, if memory serves, that this was the first double studio album by any rock or pop artists. There are mono and stereo versions of this album. I'm a fan of the mono version because I like the instruments centered, the voice and the guitar centered. All the songs here are absolute classics. And it's part of our music history. It is very difficult to find original monos in very good condition, and if you do so, they're going to cost you an arm and a leg. But fortunately, in 2010, there were two very good reissues were fully analog. The first one was done by Sundazed in the States, mastered by Kevin Gray, and the second one is this one that comes from the Bob Dylan mono collection, and it was done by George Marino. This is my favorite, the George Marino version. It's still available, and I think you can still find it for a very decent price. Bob Dylan. Number two, Derek and the Dominoes, Layla. Or The Moment When Duane Allman and Eric Clapton got together. A fantastic double album with no filler, a session blues, guitar solos, guitar licks. Absolutely amazing. The album, as you all know, and we've talked about on some other videos, is not very well recorded. There's not really a pressing I can recommend. This is a German polydor, a German first pressing. It sounds okay to me. I'm sure there are better copies around, but as the album was not very well recorded, I don't think it is really worth, splurging for another one. You tell me which one your favorite is. Mr. Peter Gabriel. This is his only studio double album. It's called Us. It was a big hit when it came out. We've been waiting for this album for about 7 years. The man takes his time because Peter Gabriel So came out in 1986, and this one I think came out in 1992 or 1992. So it was a long wait. Really worth. Come Talk to Me, Blood of Eden, Steam, Washing of the Water, Secret World, some of Peter Gabriel's classics, and I think this is one of his best albums. And after this, I don't think he reached the same summit. Right? I don't think he went, creatively speaking, he was never so great, but that's only my opinion. This is an original UK pressing, Virgin Records. It sounds okay. To me, the album sounds very quiet. It's a very low cut, right? So be careful you get a quiet copy, right? Because otherwise it's gonna get lots of clicks and pops. Or just the same, the CD is not that bad. So that's another option. The Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. I think this was the last one or the last but one album with Mick Taylor on the band, an absolute classic. This is a German first pressing, and I'm not really happy with the sound, right, of these albums. To me, it sounds dark, muffled. It is in superb condition, both the jacket and the records. But I wish I had a better sounding copy, right? So if you can recommend, right, I know the Deckers are going to sound good, and the US Londons as well, but they cost an arm and a leg. So if you know about a cheaper option, then that's welcome, right? Make sure you got a copy of this on your vinyl collection. Otherwise, it'll be absolutely lame. Now we're moving on to The Who, that had two rock operas, Tommy and Quadrophenia. Some people prefer Tommy, others prefer Quadrophenia. I prefer Quadrophenia myself, but both are superb and part of rock history, of course. I've got many copies of both, but I've tried to narrow it down for you and just pick the ones I think are the better sounding. This is the simply vinyl edition that many people recommend. I'm not completely happy with the sound of this album. I don't know the reason why, but to me there's a lack of presence here. There's something missing, right? That holographic sound that you can get with the UK first pressing is not here. On top of that, this is quite steep. It's quite expensive, and I think your money will be better put somewhere else. Now I've got these two here. They're German Polydors. This one here, and I got a second copy with the same stampers, so they sound the same. They're not bad. As a second tier, I do prefer it to the Simply Vinyl and to many other pressings. You can do better than this. But still, if it's not your favorite album, if it's not an album you need a superb copy of, it can do the job. And they're usually not very expensive. Right? If you get a mid-70s German Polydor, it will set you back something like 30, 35. I don't think they're that expensive, right? That's a possibility. Now, my favorites are, of course, the UK first pressing. Be careful with Tommy, because the last track on side A, which is called the Hocker, Eyesight to the Blind, has two different masterings. Well, two different mixings, right? One is sung an octave higher than the other, right? I don't know which one is on, which was the first one. I think it's the higher octave, because that's the A1, right? But if that's not the case, please prove me wrong. As I love The Who, and as I love Tommy, I wanted both. The first pressing, the A1, B1, and the second pressing for the different vocals. I was very lucky with the second one. I got a very good copy of with the second pressing, and very happy with it. It sounds phenomenal. I know many people vouch for the classic records. I've heard the classic records, but the presence here, and most of all the air around Pete's voice and the presence, the holographic scenario of the album is so very well represented here. I don't think any other copy beats honestly the original UK. And as I wanted the other vocals, I went for an A1, B1, and they were really, really expensive. But I liked out doing the following. There was a guy offering G plus for the jacket and very good plus for the album, and he only wanted £30 for it. So as he had good feedback, I pulled the trigger, and I'm happy I did. Of course, he didn't lie. His description was absolutely accurate. As you can see, the jacket is good plus, but I don't really mind because I've got so many copies that this is not relevant to me. What it was relevant was the fact that he sent it with the original in its sleeves. That's very nice. He undergraded the records he was selling. They were in much better condition. I gave them a wash on the Okinoki, and they're close to near mint. Right? That was really, really lucky, right? A 1969 item in these conditions. There's hardly any ticks or pops or crackle, and only between some of the songs, and you can hardly hear it. Right? I was really, really happy for the decision I made. Sometimes you lack out when you least expect it. As for the other one, Quadrophenia, some people say that the Japanese pressing is the bee's knees. I've never heard it, not even a rip of the album. If you've got a copy or if you heard it, please let me know, because I want to know if it's worth the investment. I like the Who a lot, and I wouldn't mind investing on a Japanese copy if it is that good. Never had a classic records either. I have the UK first pressing and the German first pressing, and I'm perfectly happy with both of them. Which one do I prefer? Well, really depends on my mood. This is the UK. Mine is not an early pressing, it is an A4, B1, A2, B2, but it sounds absolutely phenomenal. I suppose the A1 is much better. This is really open. This is really great sounding. I mean, track one, when the water, when the ocean floods in, you feel you're going to be swallowed by a wave. It's amazing how these records sound. Right? And the German holds its own, and sometimes I prefer it because it's got a deeper bass. Well, not a deeper bass, but the bass has a bit more presence, just a tad more presence. So it really comes down to the mood I'm in. Sometimes I pull out the German, sometimes I pull out the UK. Both of them excellent. Pink Floyd, The Wall. I've narrowed it down to 2 copies. I don't like the 2016 Bernie Grantman reissue, and I don't like other modern reissues as well. So in this case, I stick to originals. The thing about this album is that you really need a clean copy, right? A clean, quiet copy, because there are so many silent passages or very, very quiet passages that any interference is really bothering. So whichever pressing you go for, make sure it's in near mint condition. Now, I may surprise some of you, because my favorite copy is this one. It's the Japanese AP40, 40 AP17501. I haven't got the OB, that's why I got it cheap. I don't really care about. I know it increases the price, but it's not a big deal to me, and I like the way it sounds. Some people don't like it because they think they think it sounds very clinical and very analytical. I won't challenge that, but the vinyl here is so quiet, right? and so clear that it really makes up for it. It might be a tad brighter than the UK or the Germans I've got, but I think it's so very well done, and this is the one I pulled out the most. And then, the TMLs are fantastic. Some people say the US promo is the best you can hope for. Never heard the US promo. Only heard the UK and the German TMLs. I'd give the 8 to the UK, but not for the money it goes for. I paid half the price, or even less than half the price for the German TML, and it's almost there. It's almost as good as the UK, and the bass is something to listen to, right? The bass is so dynamic on the German pressing. It really makes a difference. If you find it very quiet near Mint UK, go for it, but it's going to cost an arm and a leg. Whereas the Germans are still available, and they hold their own. And they're very good sound. Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. If you follow my channel, if you've seen my videos, I bought the AP, the 45 RPM, and I didn't like it. And it was so much so that I sold it straight away. I got my money back and got rid of it. If you like that version, well, stick to it, and you've of course got all my respect. But that's not what I want the album to sound like. The sound is not what I expected. The bass to me was very interfering. There was something unreal about the mastering. I don't know what it is, but I just listened to side A and said, this is not for me. If it is your copy, well, God bless you. Otherwise, I propose these two. This is the German first pressing from 1974. It is very well done. It sounds fantastic. Great bass pedal. The bass pedal is amazing. Here, the vocals are very clear. And most importantly, as with some of the symphonic rock albums, you can get quiet copies on very good vinyl, on very quiet vinyl, and you'll enjoy them the most. And I still think that you can get a very good price or even a near mint without making, without a big financial effort, right, so to speak. And I have the Porky, the US Porky, this one, and it's great. It's excellent. I think that's my favorite copy. It's so smooth. It flows so well. It's so clear. Peter Gabriel's voice it sounds like it should, in my opinion. And they're still around. You know the problem with this album. Some UK first pressings and US first pressings, what they call the hum, right? That's sort of like a noise, right? A buzzing noise interfering. So that's why I refrain myself from trying to find a UK Porky without the hum. If you know the stampers of one, please let me know, because I would certainly love a UK copy without that stupid mistake or that stupid sound. And now, of course, the White Album. White Album, you've got the mono, you've got the stereo, you need both. It's the Beatles, it's history. You need both on your shelves. I prefer the mono, but the stereo has some strong points as well. It's an album that is going to make you spend a lot of money these days, but you need a copy all the same, right? So pick your poison and go for one. For the mono, I've got the original, which I paid a lot of money for. This is a -1-1-1-1. Not the very first pressing, because it's got the light green apple, right? Not the dark one, but it's the same stampers, it's the same matrices. It sounds just as good. However, my favorite is the 2014. the mono reissue, right, from 10 years ago. Why? Because it's a bit polished. The highs are, I wouldn't say rolled off, but they're tamed. And it produces a smoother sound all the way through. That to me is really captivating, and I enjoy it so much. So whenever I'm in the mood for the White Album, I pull out the 2014. It's a matter of taste, right? As for the stereo, I don't play the stereo that much. I know there are very good stereos around, but as I prefer the mono version, I never went for the 1978, the 10th year anniversary version. It's a lot of money. I never went for the German DMM. It's a lot of money. What I most frequently do is just playing the mono, right? So for stereos, I've got these 1973 pressing, German pressing. I saw it recommended the Steve Hoffman Forum, and when I bought it, I didn't pay much for it, and I love the way it sounds. It used to be my favorite till I bought the 1978 Dutch pressing, which I absolutely adore. This one sounds really, really smooth. The bass is so clear. The separation is fantastic. And it makes you feel as if there was no other album to listen to. You play day in, day out, right, if you were in the mood. And I was lucky, I like out, because I bought these Dutch pressing when it was not really popular. Only cost me 20 euros. They're worth a bit more nowadays, but if you want smooth sounding stereo, go for this one. Right, and that's basically it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments. Let me know stampers or pressings that you've got that sound great, or that they are affordable, and how do you feel towards them. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. Take care.